Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going better than fantastic. With that being said, today I want to talk about something very important. And that's the gray rock. And what the gray rock is. And why it's important. You see, going gray rock has a lot to do with slowing things down and is a great way to disconnect from or get a narcissist to leave you alone. Especially when you are in the beginning stages and just getting to know this new person. If you are married, or you have a family with them, or you have bought a home together, just going plain gray rock might not be advised. However, a combination of going gray rock along with the ability to change the subject fast might be the best option. And that's something I will go into a bit more detail later. And though there will be some switching of topics to keep the narcissist off balance even when going gray rock in the beginning stages. The main reason why for doing this when in a home where you aren't able to get away from them so fast, is it's a better way to keep peace. Because if you are living in the same home, the narcissist might get frustrated and upset at you going gray rock and it might provoke them to get upset and for them to try even harder to argue with you. Again, this is something I will talk about more later on in this video. But going gray rock when you are just getting to know someone or newly dating them, or just becoming friends with someone can be a great way to disconnect from this individual and for them to direct their attention elsewhere. You see, narcissists love information. They love people that freely give up their personal information. They love people pleasers. They love people that will take them back after their first terrible argument with you that was over nothing at all. And when you aren't doing these things, and when they call you, you don't answer right away. Or if they text you and you take 2 days to respond, eventually they will get extremely bored and move on to someone else that is willing to play their game. Look. In this world we live in, we will meet new people. It might not be apparent right away something is wrong with them. And maybe a month after getting to know them, we might get a bad vibe about them. Maybe based on something they said or something they did. Maybe they are now starting to act like a data collector. Maybe they are 1 minute love bombing us, and the next saying something really mean that is out of place. Meaning you show up with a new pair of shoes on. A new pair of plain black dress shoes, let's say. Nothing special. And this new friend makes fun of you for buying the shoes and calls the shoes ugly. And laughs in front of others. Now if you are good friends, it might be okay to help out a friend with certain things if they aren't very savvy on, let's say, buying such things. But running someone down, especially in front of others, shows a potential toxic character trait. And maybe you have been supportive to this person in many areas, and this person almost purposely is acting like the opposite. This is where you slow things down. Take a step back and ask yourself, what is going on here? This doesn't make sense. I've only known this person for a few months, and we've gotten along great. Now out of nowhere they are commenting that my burgundy tie is ugly. And in their words, only non-intelligent people would wear such a thing. And you think, why would they say such a thing? But then you remember, this can be a trait of a toxic person. Because if you accept this as them having a bad day or whatever, which many of us have done in the past, we are just giving them the green light to mistreat us in the future because we are showing this person that we have no boundaries. Even if this person isn't a narcissist. We know it's narcissism 101. And it's not worth our time. So what do we do? Well, no need to tell this person about themselves. Because if they are a toxic person, they know what they are doing. Because this is how toxic people test you out to see if you will be a good piece of narcissistic supply. So keep calm, cool and collected. You can quickly switch the subject. Like, hey, how was work? Or whatever. Maybe they might keep on going with mistreating you. Or maybe they might go along with you switching the subject. Either way, as you are processing the information, you know that you are worth more than to be made fun of for no apparent reason. And it's time to go gray rock. And what going gray rock is slowly withdrawing from said relationship with this person. It's almost like when you hear about someone ghosting another person. But in my opinion, going gray rock is like a slow, gradual ghosting process. And the reason for that is to not alert the narcissist that you are onto them and that you figured out what they are trying to do to you is wrong. And the reason for that is you just want the narcissist to move on and leave you alone. You don't want them to get angry with you. And you don't want them to start spreading stories about you that aren't true or whatever things they like to do. You just want them to move on to another target and to just leave you alone. Now this narcissistic type might contact you out of the blue 6 months or a year later. But if you remain gray rock, they will quickly move on and away from you once again. Here's an example. I met someone that I thought was nice and we exchanged contact information. And we started to get to know one another. And then I started to see the patterns of narcissism. The coming on strong and the data gathering information. And them being proud of behaving badly in their past. Like they rock for being so bad type of thing. And when I noticed I was starting to get lured into this narcissistic trap, I started putting more and more space in between my text messages. Instead of responding within the same hour or half hour, I would wait 6 or 7 hours to respond. And then I would start to wait full days. I was still super polite. Hey. It's great to hear from you. How's your day going type stuff. And when they asked if I was busy, I would let them know that I was super busy with this or that. I kept my answers very generic but at the same time very upbeat to not draw attention to the fact I didn't want to have anything to do with them anymore. Guess what happened? They stopped contacting me. Sure, several months later they reached back out to me. But I followed the same plan of action and they again quickly stopped responding to me. It wasn't me that stopped responding fully to them. It was they that stopped responding fully to me. And here's the thing. I don't know if they figured out that I was onto them or not. But the way things were handled, they were able to hang on to their narcissistic mask, I guess. And they were able to move on to another target more than likely. If I had went off on them telling them what I truly thought about them and the situation, it would have caused nothing but a big mess. And if I would have just out of the blue stopped talking to them, that would have alerted them that their cover was blown and they would have likely guessed I figured out they were a narcissist. Which would likely have got them quite upset. And then that's when you might end up with 100 text messages asking you why they haven't heard from you. But instead gently pulling away. Allow them to save face if that makes sense. And it makes them still feel like they are all powerful and all smart. And that you are just boring. Or whatever thing they want to make up in their mind. So they feel like you aren't worth their time anymore to respond to you. Going gray rock is becoming so boring the narcissist makes the conscious decision to not talk to you anymore. And that's the best result you can get when dealing with a narcissist or another toxic person. When they think so little of dealing with you anymore, that they just choose to stop talking to you. That's going gray rock. Slowing things down. Thinking about what is going on. And slowly getting the narcissist to lose all interest in you. Now, if you are in a relationship when you are married or have a family or a shared home, this might not be as easy because you might live under the same roof. Or you might share a family together. So doing this method, like you can when you don't have these ties, might not be the best way to handle things. Because the narcissist might have more access to you. And they might have more ability to confront you when you are acting in a boring manner. However, while you are planning your escape, a version of the gray rock, which I call playing the game, might be, and I stress the words might be, a good option, depending on your situation. This means, do your best to not provide this narcissist with any more information about yourself, especially your future escape plans. Do your best to not argue with the narcissist or get trapped or baited into conversations that can turn into arguments. Because if a narcissist hasn't argued with you in quite some time, they will likely try to bait you into a conversation that can lead to an argument. Usually these are conversations where they ask for your opinion about something, just so they can take the opposite stance and argue with you. And oftentimes they will act like they agree with you. And then once they get you deep into the discussion, they will switch gears and suddenly disagree with the topic that you feel strongly about, though just 2 minutes ago they agreed with you on this subject. And now suddenly they disagree with everything you say. So watch out for that. And you can do so by keeping answers short and basic. And then switch the topic to something the narcissist loves to talk about. Something that involves themselves and what the narcissist is doing. If they ask your opinion about something, keep your answers basic and don't really give a strong opinion. You can say, that might be a good idea. However, what do you think? Or that might not be a good idea, but I don't know all of the facts. What do you think? Narcissists love for you to go on and on about what you think and feel, so they can later rip down what you are saying. Now keep in mind, this is only a short-term solution. No one can keep this up forever. This should be just a way to cope until you are able to get a solid escape plan together, and so you can get out and away from the narcissist. And once escaped, the same methods can be applied. Unless you have legal dealings where you shouldn't be talking to them and they shouldn't be talking to you, let this person fade away on their own. And usually they do. And the reason why you are as boring as a gray rock. A gray rock that blends in with the other gray rocks on the bottom of the ocean floor, or on the side of the walkway. Nothing special. One looks just like the other from a distance. Because you see, when you show your empath nature to the narcissist, you sparkle. Amongst all of the gray rocks, you are a shining emerald that sparkles. And they can see you a mile away. And if even you might have shown that side of yourself to the narcissist, you can still go gray rock. And again, for me, I was still the same upbeat James. Hey, how are you doing? Long time. I hope all is well. But I made sure that reply came a day after they sent me a message. And then they would ask me what I was up to. I would wait another day. Hey, sorry. I've been super busy with this and that. Without giving up personal information. And then I would ask how they were doing. Pretty soon, they would just stop talking. And wouldn't reply to my "Hey, how are things going on your end?" question I would ask. Because I knew, if I just stopped talking out of the blue, that they would know something was up. But instead, I was still super polite and upbeat. I just became super boring. And the narcissist doesn't like that. They like people pleasers and information sharers. And I could tell that there was something up with this person, and it was best to go this route to distance myself from them. So in a nutshell, going gray rock is becoming extremely boring to the narcissist. So much so, they walk away from you. And they on their own accord move on to another and new target for their narcissistic supply needs. I do hope this information was helpful. Please let me know what you think. I would like to know. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.